It's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and sending you all so much love if you are watching this video because you are currently grieving the loss of a loved one or the loss of a job or relationship or any kind of loss, really. I find that there's so much support available when we are celebrating things and during the highlights, the high points of life. But when things get difficult, we often feel alone and we can sometimes isolate ourselves because we just feel like there's not that much support available for when life gets really serious. So these videos are for us to have meaningful conversations about when life gets really serious. And a lot of you know that I'm currently grieving my dad. So he passed away in December. And I wanted to share with you one of the things where my head was at, essentially, um, sort of like immediately after his passing. When we were in the hospital, of course, that was a very hurtful and difficult thing to deal with and to see. But then I believe it was about 2 or 3 days after his passing, one of the things that came to mind for me was an overwhelming sense of gratitude. And looking back now, it feels kind of weird to think like I was feeling gratitude in that moment of intense sadness and grief. But I remember feeling an intense sense of gratitude for my, like, not necessarily for my dad, but gratitude for being able to even experience the death of my father in the first place. And what I mean by that is, yes, I was extremely upset and distraught about my dad's passing, but then part of me started to feel grateful for the fact that I could even experience his passing in the first place. The fact that I could experience this experience. I realized that not everyone has a dad. So there may be some people in life who, I know it may sound weird, but some people may actually wish that they could go through what I'm currently going through right now because they've never had the pleasure of even having a father in their life in the first place to experience life and death with, if that makes sense. I was realizing that it's such a blessing and such an honor to experience the death of my dad because, one, not everyone even has or had a dad to experience the passing of. And then two, I was 34 years old when my dad passed. And 34 years is a long time to be able to experience life with someone. Some people lose their parents when they're children. Some people's parents or parent died before they were even born, so they never even got to meet their father or their mum. And yes, I was crying and really hurt and, just in a lot of pain at that time. But I also experienced intense gratitude for the fact that I got to spend 34 years with my father. And of course, not all of those years were bliss and argument free and, you know, sweet smelling roses. Of course, we had, arguments and challenges and disagreements, etc. But what a blessing to be able to experience life with someone for X amount of years and to even experience their passing in the first place. because not everyone has the, I guess, the pleasure or the benefit of even having a parent to grieve in the first place. In that moment, I realized how blessed I am to be able to experience that grief experience. And it feels kind of weird saying it out loud because, of course, I wasn't happy that my dad passed. Like, how could I be grateful for his passing? But in those moments of deep grief and emotion, I was able to realize that, wow, God, you have blessed me so much. You have blessed me so much. And I'm so grateful that I'm able to experience this moment of grief and loss and heartache and longing for my dad, because it meant and it means that I got to know him. I got to have relationship with him. I got to do life with him. He taught me so many things that I now can, utilize going forward. And it's just such an honor and blessing to have a parent and to know them. And we can apply this concept to whether it's a grandparent that we've lost, or even if it's a job or a relationship we've lost. I know it's so disheartening to lose a relationship, to lose a job, to lose a friendship. But if we focus on those good moments that that job or that relationship gave us, those things brightened up our lives so much, for even if it was just for a few moments. I'm sure there were many happy moments that that relationship gave us. I'm sure that, you know, the stability that job gave us is, we're so grateful for that. Or we're so grateful for the experience we're able to gain from having that job. I know we can't apply this concept to literally every type of loss in life, but there are some losses where we can think of, okay, what can I be grateful for? Even though I'm crying my eyes out right now and I wish I still had that thing, I wish that person was still here. What can I find to be grateful for in this moment? When it was my dad's passing, I focused on the fact that I'm so grateful that I was able to experience being a daughter in the first place. And I'm so grateful for being able to experience, yeah, being a child and experience the passing of a parent, because not everyone gets to experience that. Some people actually would love to know how it feels to have a father or a mother, to be a child, to be parented, to go through the loss and grief of a parent. And I'm so grateful that I'm able to experience this, because this is not, it's not a given. And when it comes to a relationship, yeah, it may have ended in a negative way, or it may have become toxic, but there are probably some things that your previous partner taught you about yourself, about life, that you can now apply in life. Maybe it changes your perspective about certain things, or you can focus on some of the good moments that you two had. And in your moments of grief and loss, at the same time, you can also think about the pleasure that that relationship gave you and the good memories it gave you. So, what I'm trying to say is that grief and gratitude can coexist. And in fact, they do exist at the same time. Within our moments of grief, we can find reasons to be grateful for. And I think it takes seeking and finding in order to identify the things that we can be grateful for. I don't think that they will come to mind without us consciously deciding to look for reasons to be grateful for, because grief is so intense, it's so heavy, and it's so all consuming. So we have to be intentional about looking for things to be grateful for. And I think once we start to look for things to be grateful for, we will find them. That's at least my experience anyway. And again, I know we can't apply this concept to things like SA or living through war, some of the bigger trauma stuff. But at least when it comes to grieving the loss of someone or something, I think we can apply this concept of finding gratitude in the midst of grief. So, yeah, that's just one of the things that, my mind was going through at the time when I was literally at the forefront of grief and it was very new to me. And it makes me think of that quote where it says, "It's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all." For me, now I'm so grateful that I was able to experience being a child and being parented. Like I know how that feels. I don't have to live my life wondering what it feels like to have an engaged, present, and loving parent. I know how that feels. And because of that, I know how it feels to lose a parent, to lose someone so close to me. And that is such an honor. It's a tragic honor, but it's an honor nonetheless. And I'm so grateful that I don't have to live my life wondering what it's like to have a parent. So if it's a relationship that you've lost, if it's a job you've lost or a friendship you've lost, I think we can be grateful for the fact that we once experienced companionship or relationship and we know what it feels like to feel love, to be in love, and to be loved. We know what it feels like to have a steady stream of income, to have, I guess, a sense of purpose, something that we go out to do every day. Jobs often give us a sense of purpose and meaning. I think there are things that we can be grateful for in the midst of loss if we attune our minds to think that way. And I know it's not possible to always think like this. There may be some days where you feel like you are able to look for things to be grateful for, and days where you don't feel like you can cast your mind that way, and that's fine. But grief and loss can dance together and can coexist. And I'm grateful that I'm able to learn that and experience that and know that. And I wanted to share this with you because I feel like it's a profound learning and it can help all of us on our healing journeys. So let me know if um, this message resonated. Leave a comment down below. Like this video if you want to hear more videos about grief and loss and healing. And I will speak to you soon. Take care.